I'm 34M, and I'm posting because I feel like two parts of my life collided. My best friend's relationship and mine. Somehow my business ended up in the blast radius. Me, 34M. My girlfriend, Talia, 28F. Together, 1.5 years. My best friend, Nico, 34M. Friends since we were 13. Nico's girlfriend, Ria, 24F. Together, 5 years. Context: Talia and I co-own a small marketing agency. Nico owns a specialty café plus lounge. He hired us to run an influencer event for his place. It was supposed to be fun. It wasn't. The problem is simple. Talia and Ria can't stand each other. Ria is quiet, silent in groups quiet. Talia is social, warm, and very good at reading a room. When they first met, Talia tried hard to include her. Ria gave one-word answers and later told Nico that Talia was fake. Talia heard that and never recovered. Now they're polite, but it's ice. The event forced them into the same space with real stakes. Talia started planning early. Sponsors, guest list, timeline, everything. Nico was impressed. Then Ria inserted herself. She began emailing brands Talia had already contacted. She sent different pitches, asked for different things, and made us look disorganized. Talia asked me quietly, "Is she doing this on purpose?" I asked Nico to keep one point of contact. He said he would talk to her. Nothing changed. Setup day was chaos. Ria arrived early with a notebook and acted like she was co-running the event. She ignored Talia's greeting like she didn't hear it. She moved things after Talia placed them. She gave staff conflicting instructions. At one point I was hanging decorative lighting and Talia said, "A little left." Ria immediately said, "No, that's wrong, higher." Talia calmly said, "We tested the angle for camera framing." Ria replied, "I've been on social media since I was 14. I pulled Nico aside and said, 'Too many captains.' He looked tired and said, 'I know.' He didn't really stop her." Event day was 3 staggered waves of guests. Everyone had a role. Ria wanted one too, so I gave her the simplest, most important job. Hand out gift bags and say one line about a creator program with a QR code. Easy. After the second wave, I checked in. 0 sign-ups. I asked if she'd mentioned the program. She shrugged and said, "People just walked out." I said, "You have to ask. It's 1 sentence." She rolled her eyes, shoved the bags toward me, said, "You do it," and walked out the back. She didn't come back. The event still succeeded because Talia held it together and I took over the pitch. But afterward I felt empty. Nico apologized. He admitted he knew Ria wasn't qualified, but she'd been motivated and he didn't want to crush it. Then he said something that confirmed what I'd been trying not to think. I think she felt threatened by how good Talia is. Now the part that's messing with my head the most. That night after we got home, Talia sat on the bed and said, "I can't do this anymore." I thought she meant the event. She said, "No, us." She said she was tired of carrying everything, tired of being disrespected by my friendships, tired of imagining a future where Nico's girlfriend is always around. Then she said quietly, "And honestly, I don't think you're the man I pictured." I asked what she meant. She said her love faded. She said she felt ashamed for having needs. She said she needed someone who takes care of things without making it complicated. When I asked for examples, she brought up 3 crimes from our relationship. My card glitched once while ordering food. I mentioned a wasted ticket on a trip. I once joked that men rarely get gifts. She said those moments made her feel unsafe, like I wasn't the provider she imagined, which stunned me because I've paid for most things, covered trips, bought gifts, and funded parts of our business when cash flow was tight. But the moment I acknowledged money existed, she treated it like a flaw. I tried to talk. She said she was done talking. She went to sleep. 2 days later, she broke up with me over text. Calm, almost formal. Then she deleted our photos online like we were a failed brand partnership. After the text, she went completely cold. No call, no conversation, just silence. I sent one message asking if we could talk like adults, even for 15 minutes. She replied, "There's nothing to discuss," and then muted me. That's what keeps looping in my head. 1.5 years should at least deserve a conversation. But she treated it like a switch. Love on Monday, deletion by Wednesday. My friends are split. One says, "Don't chase, she wants drama or control." Another says, "Maybe she's avoidant, maybe she'll calm down." I keep hovering over my phone at night, wanting to send some perfectly worded message that makes her realize I'm not the villain in her story. And then I realize the problem. If someone needs you to be a disappointment so they can feel justified leaving, no message can fix that. Now I'm spiraling between two realities. Reality A, I was useful for stability, and the moment I showed any human friction, the fantasy collapsed. Reality B, I'm the problem. Maybe I should have been more agreeable, more provider, less human. And then I think about the event, Ria pushing into Talia's lane, and I wonder if I've been living around people who need to win, just in different ways. So here's my question. How do I protect my friendship with Nico without letting his relationship poison everything around it? And how do I stop blaming myself for a breakup that ended like a corporate email? Because right now it feels like I'm losing my brother and my future at the same time. Update 1, 5 days later. Nico came over alone and looked wrecked. He apologized again. He said Ria was furious after the event because everyone listened to Talia, and because Nico told her to stop interfering. He admitted she accused him of choosing your girlfriend over me. I told him Talia isn't my girlfriend anymore. Nico went quiet, then said, "I think she was already halfway out, and this gave her a clean reason." He also said Ria insists she was just helping, and that Talia is controlling. When Nico asked why she stormed out instead of doing the simple job, she said, "I'm not your employee." Nico said, "Neither was Talia, and she still saved my event." He promised our agency will stay the only point of contact, and Ria won't be involved again. On my side, I had to face the ugly practical part. Talia and I co-own the agency. We're negotiating what breaking up means when you share contracts, accounts, and clients. She wants to keep the accounts and buy me out later. I'm not sure I trust anything that's not written down. I'm meeting with a lawyer next week, not to punish her, to protect reality. Update 2, 1 month later. Talia and I signed a temporary business agreement. Everything is documented. Access is shared. Money is tracked. It makes me sad that it has to be like this, but it also makes me calm. Nico kept his promise. Ria isn't involved anymore. And the cafe is running better. Meetings are shorter. Emails are cleaner. There's less chaos. Nico told me quietly, "I think she liked the idea of being important more than she liked being supportive." As for me, I stopped reaching out to Talia, not as punishment, as self-respect. I reread my own messages from the last months, me apologizing for being human, me trying to soothe her needs, me trying to prove I was enough. And I realized, people who want a fantasy partner will punish you for being real. I'm still grieving, but I'm clearer. Nico is still my brother. But I'm not going to keep sacrificing my peace to protect his relationship. If he chooses Ria forever, that's his choice. If he chooses reality, I'll be here. And I'm done confusing being generous with being used. Update 3, 3 months later. I didn't expect the friendship angle to be the hardest part. But it is. Because Nico is my brother, and brothers don't come with return policies. Nico and I had a long conversation. No girlfriends, no support system, just us. I told him I'm not asking him to leave Ria. I'm asking him to stop letting her turn every boundary into an insult. If our company is hired, it runs through the company. If it's a friend hangout, it's a friend hangout. No more mixing the two and pretending it's normal. He admitted something that made me sad. He said he's been managing Ria's moods for years. He said he avoids hard conversations because she shuts down and then punishes him with days of silence. When I heard that, it clicked why he froze during the event. He wasn't choosing her. He was trying to avoid the emotional bill he knew would come later. That doesn't make it okay, but it makes it make sense. The weird upside is that I'm learning what stability actually looks like. It looks like agreements in writing. It looks like one point of contact. It looks like friends who can hear no without turning it into betrayal. And it looks like relationships where love doesn't disappear because you acknowledged reality. Money, stress, disappointment, all of it. I'm not ready to date, but I'm ready to stop bargaining with people who only love a version of me that never costs them anything. This concludes today's story. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to support our work.